about to start my workout for today. As you can see, I have a set of dumbbells here. I also have an exercise mat. I'm going to be using my jump rope today as well, but you do not need any exercise equipment whatsoever to follow along with this workout because I will be providing equipment-free substitutions. There are timestamps in the description box down below the video, so if you would prefer to just skip straight ahead to the workout, you can use the chapter markers to go ahead and do that. But if you'd like to see the exercises briefly demonstrated and explained before we begin, let's go ahead and get into that right now. So really there are just 4 different exercises plus jump rope. I'm also going to be adding another little section. I'm going to be doing push-ups. The push-ups are optional. And if you don't want to do push-ups, there are other things you can do, but we'll get to that in just a minute. First, let's just talk about jump rope. That's the easiest thing to talk about. So I have Rebecca with me here today. Rebecca, if you don't know, is my adorable black jump rope with these cute little white skulls on the handles. If you would like to know where I get my jump ropes, there is a link and a coupon code in the description box down below the video. So click on the link and use coupon code Rebecca to save an additional 10% on your jump rope. Now we're going to be doing sets of 250 with the jump rope. So when I say a set of 250, I'm talking about 250 revolutions of the rope. I always kind of jog in place like this when jumping rope, but you can jump with your feet together if you're more comfortable. If you're really advanced and you're great at jump rope, you can do something more challenging. You can do high knees, jump rope jacks, twist jumps, you can jump side to side, you can do a boxer shuffle, it doesn't matter. Any style of jump rope you want to do is fine. The only important thing is that we're counting revolutions of the jump rope. So 250 revolutions of the jump rope is one set of 250. If that is too intense for you, you can break it up. So you can do 5 sets of 50 and just rest for 10 or 15 seconds in between. I'm going to be attempting to do my sets of 250 unbroken. So you do what's best for you, but that is what we're doing for jump rope. So if you don't have a jump rope, you really can just pantomime jumping rope, and that works. So you can do it like I do it, like this, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're just basically jogging in place. So if you don't want to do that, you really can just jog in place, or you can do high knees. You can pantomime jumping rope with your feet together, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's fine, or you can just jump. You can jump side to side, you can do twist jumps, you can do jumping jacks, mountain climbers, it doesn't matter. Any kind of cardio exercise that you want to do is fine. Just remember that we are doing sets of 250, so make sure it's something that you can realistically do sets of 250. Other than that, I will say that each cardio section, if I'm not tripping over my jump rope too much, should take me somewhere in the neighborhood of 2 to 3 minutes. So each time I'm jumping rope, each time I'm doing a set of 250 revolutions with my rope, it should take me about 2 to 3 minutes, something in that neighborhood. So the other thing you could do, if you don't want to pantomime jumping rope or do high knees or jumping jacks or something like that for 250 reps, is you could just do 2 to 3 minutes of any type of cardio exercise you want. So for example, you could shadow box. If you have a heavy bag, or if you have access to one at the gym, you could work on your heavy bag for 2 to 3 minutes. If you have access to the field at your local high school, you could jog around the track. For some people, 2 to 3 minutes might just be once around the track. If you're really fast, maybe you can do twice around the track in 2 to 3 minutes. So that's another option. You could do up and down the bleachers, or if you have access to stairs in your home or your apartment complex, if you want to take your workout to a local beach or a park or a hiking trail, there's steps. Up and down the steps is another great option. 2 to 3 minutes up and down the stairs. Or if you have access to something like an elliptical or a treadmill or an exercise bike or something like that, Stairmaster, anything like that, you could do 2 to 3 minutes on one of those while I'm jumping rope. So basically the idea is just to get about 2 to 3 minutes of any type of moderate paced cardio you want. So that is what we're doing for jump rope, and that's what to do if you don't have a jump rope. So next, let's deal with my dumbbells for reference, and for reference only. These are 10-pound dumbbells. That's plenty of weight for me today. That is going to challenge me today. You may need to use something lighter or heavier than that. That depends on your strength. It depends on your level of fitness. It also just depends on what you have available to you, and of course it depends on how hard you are looking to push yourself today, so please consider all of those factors when choosing your weights and make the decision that is best for you. If you do not have dumbbells, but you still want to add weight, grab a couple of shampoo bottles or water bottles. You can fill them with water. You might be able to make them a little heavier by filling them with something like uncooked rice or dried beans or kitty litter, powdered laundry detergent, maybe even those little decorative pebbles, dirt or sand if you're going to the park or the beach for your workout. So just get creative and use what you've got, as long as you can find something that you are able to maintain a secure grip on so that you're not going to drop it and injure yourself or break something and make a mess. And as long as it's not too heavy for you, then any number of household items can work. If you have nothing that is going to work for weight, or you just don't want to add weight to the workout, that's fine. You don't need to add weight. I will be providing equipment-free substitutions for all 4 of my weighted exercises. So with that being said, let me show you these 4 weighted exercises that I'm doing. The first exercise is a squat variation. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing. You can do any squat variation you want, with or without weight. So if you don't want to add weight to this, just do any squat variation that doesn't include holding on to a set of dumbbells, okay? Really, any squat variation you want to do is fine, and there are a million of them. The only important thing is that you're minding your form, so make sure that you are keeping your shoulders back and down. So visualize trying to tuck your shoulder blades into your back pockets. So that's going to help you keep your shoulders back and down. It's also going to help you keep your chest lifted nice and high. So from here, what you want to do is, first of all, really tighten up your abs. Make sure your entire core is engaged. Imagine someone's about to come along and punch you in the stomach as hard as they can, and you are bracing for that impact. So make sure your abs are super strong and tight and engaged. And then one last thing before you think about squatting, because if you think of your squat as kind of going straight down, your knees are going to tend to end up going out over your toes, and we don't want that. We want your knees to be back. So you want your weight to all be in your heels. I can actually pick up my toes here, okay? So you want your knees to be tracking more over your heels than your toes, and you do that by hinging at the hips before you actually start squatting. So imagine trying to touch the wall behind you with your booty. Really push your booty back. At the same time, remember, you're keeping that chest lifted nice and high. So also think about trying to touch the wall in front of you with your chest. You want your spine elongated so that your back stays flat, the weight stays in your heels. And from here is where you can go ahead and sink down into your squat. Then you're going to press your heels into the mat to stand, or into the floor, into the ground to stand, as you straighten your legs, and that's it, okay? Shoulders back and down, chest lifted high, abs tight, hinging at the hips, push the booty back, keeping your back flat, keeping the weight in your heels as you sink down into your squat, and then pressing your heels into the ground to stand. So that's just a basic air squat. You can add anything you want to that, or you can just do air squats, okay? I'm going to be adding a hammer curl plus a tricep kickback. So when I say a hammer curl, all that means is that my palms are facing one another. So as I'm holding onto my dumbbells, I'm going to think of the way you would swing a hammer. That's the grip you have on your dumbbells. So my palms are going to be facing each other as I bend my elbows and curl the weights up towards my shoulders. All right, and then I'm going to maintain that same grip on my dumbbells. So my palms are going to be facing each other the entire time. And as I squat, I'm going to be curling the weights up to my shoulders, and then I'm going to hinge at the hips and do this tricep kickback. So I'm straightening my elbows, lifting the weights up behind me, really activating my triceps. I'm going to be using some momentum, so I'm going to be kind of stringing these moves together. There's a flow to it, okay? So I'm not going to be curling my weights and then hinging and then slowly pressing the weights back. I'm going to be kind of combining them. It's going to be a flow to it, okay? So it's going to look like this. I have my weights in front of me like this. My palms are facing one another. I'm going to curl the weights up to my shoulders as I sink down into my squat. And now I'm going to hinge at the hips, stringing these moves together. As I hinge at the hips, I'm extending my arms behind me, and then I'm swinging the arms forward, curling the weights right back up to my shoulder, right into my next squat, okay? So I'm staying low. I'm never coming all the way back up and returning to my starting position. After I do this first squat, I'm staying low. I'm never coming back up to my starting position. Makes sense? And here, right into my next squat. okay? So that's my squat variation. You do any squat variation you want. If the tricep kickback is too difficult, just do the hammer curl, or you can do a bicep curl or reverse curl. You don't have to curl anything, but that's one option. You can just eliminate the tricep kickback if it's too much. You can just curl the weights and then stand. You can do anything you want with the weights, or you can not hold on to weights and do another squat variation without weights. So your call, but that is my first exercise. The second weighted exercise is going to be a sit-up with an overhead press. So for this exercise, I'm only going to be using one of my dumbbells, and I'm going to come down on my mat, and basically this is just a sit-up. So your equipment-free option is just any sit-up variation you want to do, or any crunch variation, or really any ab exercise at all. So if you want to just do sit-ups, the most similar thing that you can do to what I'm going to be doing without adding weight is just sit-ups. Sit up and reach, and then reverse the movement. So sit up, straighten the back, reach up towards the ceiling, and then come back down. Arms are extended overhead the entire time. Okay, so that's your equipment-free modification. I'm going to be holding on to one dumbbell while I do that. So I'm going to start with the dumbbell up by my shoulder, and as I sit up, I'm going to press the dumbbell up overhead. Then as I return to my starting position, the dumbbell is going to come back down to my shoulder, and I'm going to be using my free hand a little bit just to kind of spot myself. My free hand is not going to be bearing any of the weight of the dumbbell, but I am going to kind of use my free hand to kind of guide the dumbbell where I need it and spot myself. So if you need to use your free hand, that's fine, you can do that, or of course you can switch to a lighter weight. But it's going to look like this. Starting down here on my mat, on my back, my knees are bent, and I have this elbow bent. The dumbbell is up by my shoulder. Now I'm going to sit up, press the weight up overhead, then I'm going to bend my elbow, bring the weight back down to my shoulder as I reverse the movement and come back into my starting position. So sit up, press the weight up overhead, weight comes back down to the shoulder, and lower yourself back down to the mat. Return to your starting position. Super simple. So we're going to be staying on the same side for the entire set, and then of course the next time we do that exercise we will switch and get the other arm, but you're not going to be switching back and forth. You're going to keep the dumbbell in the same hand the entire time. And that's my second weighted exercise. My third weighted exercise is going to be bent over row plus an upright row. So for this one, I'm going to have my palms facing the tops of my thighs. So right now you are looking at the backs of my hands. That's the grip I'm going to have on my dumbbells for this entire exercise. So starting with our bent over row, so this is a hip hinge. So again, you want to start by tucking your shoulder blades into your back pockets. Shoulders are back and down. Chest is lifted high. Abs are tight. You're gonna push your booty back, and you wanna really make sure as you hinge at the hips, you're trying to get your torso parallel to the ground, but you want to make sure that you are not pushing your body into doing anything that it is not ready to do. So don't force it. That's what you're working towards, but please work to your own level. Shortening up your range of motion is absolutely fine. Just make sure that you are pushing your booty back. Make sure your weight is in your heels. Make sure your back is flat, and make sure there is a soft bend to your knees. You are not actively trying to straighten your legs. Do not straighten your legs. Do not lock out your knees. Make sure there's a soft bend to your knees as you do this exercise. Once you are in this bent over position, you're just going to row the weights. So when I say row the weights, all I mean is that you're going to bend your elbows and lift the weights up towards your shoulders. Then you'll control the movement as we lower the weights back down. So you're not just letting the weights drop down, you're controlling every aspect of the movement. That's our bent over row. From there, you're going to press your heels into the mat, hinging at the hips to stand. And then you're going to do an upright row. So again, you're just bending your elbows, lifting the weights up towards your shoulders, controlling the movement on the way down, not letting the weights drop down, controlling every aspect of the movement. So the bent over row plus the upright row is 1 rep. So it looks like this. Palms are facing the tops of my legs the entire time. My backs of my hands are going to be facing that wall the entire time. So shoulders back and down, chest lifted high, abs are tight, pushing the booty back, keeping the back flat, keeping my weight in my heels and keeping a soft bend to my knees as I come down into my deadlift. From here, I'm going to row the weights, press the heels into the ground, hinge at the hips to stand, and row the weights again. That's 1 rep, okay? From the front, it looks like this. Hinge at the hips, bent over row, hinge at the hips to stand, upright row. All right, super simple. If you do not have dumbbells or you don't want to add weight, then any kind of hip hinge is fine. So you can just do good mornings, that's fine. You can have your hands clasped behind your head, you can have them just touching the backs of your ears, you can have them crossed in front of you, whatever's comfortable for you. I usually have my fingertips touching the backs of my ears, but it's just a hip hinge. So shoulders backing down, chest lifted high, abs tight, pushing the booty back, back flat, weight in the heels, soft bend to the knees as you hinge at the hips, then hinge at the hips to stand. All right, that's a good morning. If you want to add something to it, you can add a kick or a leg raise or something like that. Any kind of hip hinge is fine. The other thing you could do is maybe like one leg deadlift if you want to make it a little bit more challenging, but you're not adding weight. So you could pick up 1 foot and just do, it's basically the same thing, it's still a hip hinge. So you could do your 1 leg deadlift, and then, you know, again, you could add a knee up, you could add a kick, you could add a calf raise, okay? So any kind of deadlift variation or any kind of hip hinge exercise will work there as an equipment-free substitution if you don't want to add weight. All right, so that's our 3rd weighted exercise, just 1 more, and it is super simple. We're just doing glute bridge raises. So nothing tricky here, nothing advanced, nothing you haven't seen before. Just coming down onto your back on the mat, knees are bent, feet are flat on the mat. You're going to press your heels into the mat, lift your hips up as high as you can, like you're trying to touch the ceiling with your hip flexors, squeezing your glutes at the top, and then again, controlling the movement as you lower your hips back down. You don't have to lower your hips back down, that's slowly. I'm just demonstrating the fact that the movement should be completely under control. You're not just letting your hips drop down. Okay, so press the heels into the ground, lift the hips as high as you can, squeeze the glutes, and then lower the hips back down with control. Okay, your hands can be here wherever they're comfortable. Very simple, very basic exercise. I'm going to be adding weight to this by just placing both of my 10-pound dumbbells on my hips like this. So you can use 1 weight or 2, depends on how heavy your dumbbells are, and it depends on how much weight you want to add to, how much you want to increase the difficulty. Now I have my fingertips on the dumbbells just to keep them from falling off of me, but my hands are just keeping the dumbbells secure on my hip flexors. I am not using my upper body at all. I want to make my legs and my glutes and my core do all of the work of lifting this extra weight. But it's the same exact exercise, just with some added weight, okay? Super simple. Just gonna place your weights right on, weights right on top of your hip flexors, and from there, it's the exact same exercise. All right, so that's everything. The only other thing I'm doing is push-ups. So the push-ups are optional, you don't have to do them. I'm just doing little like push-up vignettes. So if you feel like doing something like that, it can be any push-up variation you want, it could be any burpee variation you want. It doesn't have to be push-ups, it doesn't have to be burpees. If you want to work on your pull-ups or your dips, that would be another great option. Basically, I would say what's going to work here is any exercise that you find difficult, so that doing a set of 5 is challenging for you. So I'm going to be doing sets of 5, and that's going to be challenging for me. I wouldn't recommend just doing I mean, you can do it if you want. There's nothing wrong with just doing like 5 regular push-ups. That's not going to challenge you very much. Why not? Okay, and then by the end of the workout, you'll have done an extra 20 push-ups. It's not going to hurt anything, but the reason these sets are so small, just 5 reps, is because I'm going to find this very challenging. So I recommend thinking of something you want to work on. So maybe if you want to work on your dips, that would be another option that I would choose here, because dips are something that I want to work on, but they're very challenging for me, so I definitely can't do more than 5 in a row. Same thing with pull-ups. But any push-up variation or burpee variation will work. And if regular standard push-ups are very challenging for you and it's very difficult for you to do 5 reps in a row, then just do standard push-ups. So maybe you're a person who does push-ups from your knees, and it's your New Year's resolution to be able to do 5 push-ups in a row from your toes. Now would be a good time to practice that. So you could do 1 push-up from your toes and then 4 from your knees, or 3 push-ups from your toes and 4 from your knees. We're just doing sets of 5, so that's another option. But I'm going to be doing push-ups. Any push-up variation will work, any burpee variation will work, and if you don't want to do push-ups or burpees, just choose something else you want to work on or skip it. All right, so I am doing 5 push-ups. First, I'm going to be doing a diamond push-up, which is a very challenging push-up variation for me, and it really brings more focus to your chest. So it's really going to help strengthen your chest. It's a very difficult push-up variation, in my opinion. So all that means is that you're going to have your hands together like this, so that your fingertips on your index fingers are touching and your thumbs are touching, so that in the middle, you're making this diamond shape, okay? And you're just going to do your push-up from that position. So you're going to have your hands together, making a diamond in the middle. You're going to be up here in your plank pose, and you're just going to do your push-up from this position. All right, it's super challenging. So I'm just doing 1 of those. Then I'm going to place my hands directly underneath my shoulders and do just a regular standard push-up. Nothing special or fancy, no modification here. Just a push-up with my hands directly beneath my shoulders. Then I'm going to step my hands out even wider. So far we've done 2 push-ups. We're going to do 3 more. And the remaining 3 push-ups are going to be done with my hands wide. So first, I'm going to be doing what I call sliding push-ups. So I'm going to have my hands wide, and I'm going to bring my weight down towards this side, and then push myself back up. Now I'll repeat that on the other side. And for my 5th and final push-up, I'm just going to do a push-up with my hands wide apart, but I'm going to lower myself straight down, okay? So diamond, standard, slide to the right, slide to the left, and then 1, what I call sumo push-up with my hands wide apart, okay? So that's 5 reps. And that's what my little push-up sequence is going to look like. And I'm going to repeat that a total of 4 times throughout the course of the workout. And so by the end of the workout, I will have done a total of 20 push-ups, okay? So just make sure with your push-ups, if you are going to be doing push-ups with me, make sure you're minding your form. So head in line with the spine, shoulders away from the ears, flat back, okay? So when we were doing anything with a hip hinge, so our good mornings or deadlifts or squats, when I told you to keep your back flat, we were trying to avoid a rounded back. That's why we were tucking our shoulder blades into our back pockets, lifting that chest high, pushing the booty back. With your push-ups, you're trying to avoid the opposite of that. You're trying to avoid an arch in your back. So that happens when you get fatigued and you let your hips or your belly kind of droop down towards the mat like this. That's causing an arch in my back. So to fix that, again, you want to really tighten up your abs. Think about someone trying to punch you in the stomach as hard as they can. You're bracing for that impact. Use your ab muscles to lift your hips high and keep them lifted high so that your back is flat. The point is that you want your body in one perfectly straight line the entire time. So as you bend your elbows and you lower your chest as close to the ground as you can, you want to make sure you're never breaking that straight line either from your heels to your shoulders, or if you do knee push-ups, your straight line will be from your knees to your shoulders. But the same thing, your abs should be super strong and tight and engaged the whole time. You should be using your ab muscles to lift your hips high and keep them lifted high. You also want to make sure your shoulders are away from your ears. And you do that by really pressing the ground away from you. So pay attention, especially as you fatigue. You might find that you start to kind of sink down into your shoulders like this. If that's happening, press the ground away from you. All right, think about lifting this part of your back between your shoulder blades up towards the ceiling. Really push yourself up nice and high in that plank. Press the ground away from you so that your shoulders are away from your ears, and make sure your head is in line with your spine. So if you think about standing with your back up against the wall and just lightly pressing the back of your head into the wall, that's where you want your head to be. That's where you want your head to stay. So make sure that you're not bobbing your head up and down. It sounds like, why would I bob my head up and down? But it's actually a very common mistake, and here's why. When you are doing a push-up, your goal is to get your chest all the way down to the ground, but you might not be there yet. Remember, you need to be working to your own level. Shortening up your range of motion is fine, but most people are not aware that they are compensating for the fact that they can't get their chest all the way down by either lowering their hips or their belly down to the mat, which again causes an arch in your back, and we don't want to do. But the other very common mistake that people make, if they can't get their chest all the way down, is they will lower their forehead down to the ground. And I don't think it's done on a conscious level. I just think you're trying so hard to get all the way down. If you're unable to do that though, without breaking that straight line from your heels to your shoulders or from your knees to your shoulders, if you're unable to do that without bobbing your forehead down to the ground, then don't worry about getting your chest all the way down to the ground. Yes, that's a goal. That's something to work towards. You might not be there right now. You might not achieve that goal today, and that's fine. The objective is more important. The objective is to maintain that flat back, keep that straight line all the way from your heels to your shoulders, and keep your head in line with your spine. So if you are unable to get your chest all the way down, that's fine. Just shorten up your range of motion. Okay, so the point is to lower your chest as close to the mat as you can without breaking that straight line. So if that's here, that's here. Push yourself back up. As soon as you've gotten your chest as low as you can, push yourself back up, but don't compensate by lowering your hips or your belly down to the mat. Don't compensate by lowering your forehead down to the mat, okay? Just mind your form. But any push-up variation you want to do is fine. Any burpee variation you want to do is fine. And really, anything you want to do for that part where I'm doing those little push-up sequences is fine. And that's it. That's all we're doing today. So here's the format. I'm starting with a push-up sequence. So I'm going to do that sequence of 5 push-ups that I just showed you: diamond, standard, slide, slide, sumo. Okay, that's my push-up variations. That's my little sequence of 5 push-ups. So we're going to start with push-ups. Then I'm going to move on to my first weighted exercise, which was my squat with a hammer curl plus a tricep kickback. 25 reps. So after I have completed 25 reps of my squat variation, I'm going to grab my jump rope, and I'm going to do my first set of 250 with my jump rope. So 250 revolutions of the rope. Then I'm going to repeat that, not the push-ups, just the squats. So it's going to go push-up sequence, then 25 reps of my weighted exercise, 250 reps of jump rope, and then another 25 reps of my weighted exercise, another set of 250 with the jump rope. That's the first little block. And then from there, we're just going to repeat that sequence 3 more times, so a total of 4 times. The only thing that changes is the weighted exercise we're doing. So it's always going to be push-up sequence, then 25 reps of our weighted exercise, set of 250 with the jump rope, then repeat the weighted exercise and the jump rope, and then push-ups, weighted exercise, jump rope, weighted exercise, jump rope. And we'll do that for all 4 exercises. So each time you do a weighted exercise, you're coupling that with a set of 250 with the jump rope, and you're always repeating that before you move on. And before you do that, you're gonna do your push-up sequence, okay? So hopefully that'll make sense. If it doesn't, please remember that I do always take the time to type out the instructions in the description box down below the video, and I'm going to do the entire workout right along with you. So watch me do it, read the instructions, but then of course, as always, if anything is unclear with the format and how everything fits together, please just ask, okay? Same thing, if you have any questions about the exercises that we are doing today, if you have any doubts about how to do these exercises with the correct form, or if you need any further help with equipment-free substitutions, if you need help with beginner modifications, I'm always here to help, so please ask questions if you have them. It's really important that you understand how to do the exercises correctly before you begin the workout, so that you reduce your risk of injury, and also just so that you make sure you're getting the maximum benefit out of each exercise. And you guys know it is also incredibly important to me that all of my workouts are always accessible to anyone and everyone who wants to do them with me. So I'm always here to help facilitate that. Please do not hesitate to reach out if you have questions or if you need help. I also want to remind you, especially if you are going to be working out along with the video, to please make sure that you are working to your own levels. So that means choosing dumbbells or household items that are an appropriate weight for you. It means dropping to a lighter weight if the weight you chose initially starts to become too heavy, or it means dropping the weight altogether and switching to the body weight version of the exercises that I showed you. It means applying beginner modifications as needed, so putting your knees down for the push-ups, shortening up your range of motion. It means resting as needed. So challenge yourself to keep your rest breaks as short as you can, but they should be as long as you need. You should only resume the workout once you feel that you are capable of continuing with good form. It's really important that you're not sacrificing your form for any reason. So you should only resume the workout once you feel that you have regained enough strength and you have enough stamina so that you can continue with good form. If you fall behind, either because you're just working at a slower pace than I am, or because you're needing longer rest breaks than what I'm taking, or you're needing rest breaks where I'm not taking them, that's fine. Pause the video and rest. I'm not going anywhere. As soon as you're ready to resume the workout, press play. I will be here and we can get back into it together. If you're faster than I am, that's wonderful. Be faster than I am. If you get too far ahead of me, just skip ahead in the video. I just want you to make sure that you're not sacrificing your form for speed, okay? Please make sure that you're going at your own pace. If you are in good shape, you will very likely be faster than I am, and that's wonderful, as long as you are not losing anything off of your form to get there. If you are slower than I am, also wonderful, because you would not even know that you are slower than I am unless you got your little booty dressed and got out here and were doing the reps with me, okay? As long as you're putting in the work, don't worry about how fast you're going. If you are slower than I am, be slower than I am. Please do not race to keep up with me. Mind your form. You never want to sacrifice your form for speed. It is always going to be safer and more effective to slow down a little bit and do each rep with excellent form than it is to race to keep up with me or race to stay ahead of me if it means that your form is getting sloppy. All right, I don't want anyone getting hurt, and I want you to be rewarded by being able to see the results of all your hard work. So please make sure that you are not sacrificing your form for speed. I think that's it. Hopefully I have covered everything. If you are ready to go ahead and begin the workout, gather whatever equipment you need. So again, for me, that is a set of dumbbells, an exercise mat, and my jump rope. If you don't have a mat, a towel may suffice. If you're working out on a carpeted floor or on grass, you may not need anything at all. Remember, if you don't have dumbbells, household items will work. If you don't have anything that's going to work for weight, shampoo bottles or water bottles or something like that, you don't need to add weight. You have your equipment-free substitutions. Grab your jump rope if you have one, and if you're jumping rope with me today, pause the video, go get dressed. Meet me right back here. We're going to start with a quick 5-minute warm-up, and then we'll get right into this super tough workout. So as soon as you're ready, let's get started with our 5-minute warm-up. You're going to begin by just allowing your head to fall towards one shoulder. Place your hand on top of your head and just rest it there. You are not actively pulling your ear down towards your shoulder. You're just allowing gravity to do all the work of gently stretching the other side of your neck using just the weight of your arms. So now we're gonna do the other side. Let go with your hand, allow your head to fall towards the opposite shoulder. Place your hand on top of your head and just rest it there. Make sure your arm is completely relaxed. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed. They should be down, away from your ears. If they're hunched up here, push them down. Next, we're going to do some head rolls. So again, let go with your hand. You're gonna begin by allowing your chin to fall first towards your chest and then towards the opposite shoulder and back. And each time you roll your head from one shoulder to the other, just start feeling your head getting heavier and heavier, allowing your range of motion to increase. Arms are nice and loose like a rag doll, until finally your entire torso should just be kind of spilling in front of you. Next, we're gonna do some shoulder rolls. So you can roll your shoulders towards the back or towards the front, it doesn't matter, but you wanna make big circles with your shoulders. So really exaggerate the movement, explore your full range of motion. Next, we're going to do arm circles, but we're going to start small with our arm circles. So extend your arms straight out to the side and start by making small circles, either towards the back or towards the front. It doesn't matter. But gradually, as the interval progresses, you're going to start making your circles bigger and bigger until finally you are again exploring your full range of motion, making those circles as big as you can. Now, feet a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. Bend the knees. Sweep the arms down in front of you, and as you straighten your legs, you're reaching up as high as you can. Each time you bend your knees, allow your range of motion to increase a little more, sinking deeper and deeper into that squat. Now keep your feet planted right where they are. They should be wider than shoulder width apart, and we're just going to lunge side to side, nice and easy, adding the arms. So now with each lunge, I'm reaching my arm across my body. You should feel like you're trying to throw your arm across the room. Next, we're just going to march in place. So you're going to step your feet in and march. Knees low to start, but gradually as the interval progresses, you can start driving your knees up higher and higher towards your chest until finally you're driving your knees up as high as you can towards your chest. Feel a nice little stretch in your glutes. Now we're gonna jog in place. Same thing, so knees low to start, but gradually you wanna start driving your knees up, higher and higher towards your chest, until finally you're driving your knees up as high as you can towards your chest. Really get them up there. Next is booty kicks. So we're gonna keep jogging, but now with each step, I'm bringing my foot behind me, and I am actually kicking my booty. Really try to kick yourself in the booty with your heel. If you struggle with balance, for this next one, you can hold onto the wall or a chair for support. If not, hands on the hips is fine. Transfer your weight into one foot, pick up the other foot, and just swing the leg front and back. Nice and loose. Just waking up those hip flexors. We're gonna do the other side. So put this foot down, transfer your weight, pick up the other foot, swing the leg front and back. Again, you can start low, and if it feels comfortable, as the interval progresses, you can start expanding your range of motion, swinging that leg higher and higher. Now put this foot down, transfer your weight, pick up the opposite foot, extend the leg out in front of you. Bring the leg around and behind, making a semicircle. Each time you make that semicircle, lifting that leg higher and higher. And for the last two, we're gonna do a hip circle. So drive your knee up towards your chest. Use your hand to guide it around. Other leg. Extend the leg out in front of you. Bring the leg around and behind, making a semicircle. Lifting that leg higher and higher each time. And for the last two, drive the knee up towards your chest. Use your hand to guide it around. And we're going to finish with a hamstring stretch. So feet wide apart. You want to keep your back as flat as you can so that you isolate your hamstrings more effectively. So I'm using this post to assist me. You can use the wall or a chair or the arm of your couch. But it just makes it a little bit easier to maintain that flat back while getting into the stretch. Might make it a little bit more accessible. So that's it. That's our 5-minute warm up. So let's go ahead and get right into the workout. I am starting my timer in 3, 2, 1, and go. So we're starting with our little push-up sequence. So first is a diamond push-ups, hands together. Diamond push-up. Standard push-up, hands directly underneath the shoulders. Now hands wide apart. Sliding push-up. Sliding push-up. Sumo push-up. Okay, that's it. That's our little push-up sequence. We're gonna do that 4 more times. We'll do it before each of our weighted exercises. So my first weighted exercise is my squat with a hammer curl plus a tricep kickback. You do any squat variation you want with or without weight, 25 reps. So squat with a hammer curl, hinge at the hips for your tricep kickback. We're going to 25. It's 20. Those are tough, but we're already halfway done with them. Remember, we're going to repeat each of these weighted exercises. And we're going to pair each weighted exercise with jump rope. So next is 250 revolutions of the rope. Any style of jump rope you want to do is fine. Just counting 250 revolutions. If you trip over your jump rope, my legs already feel like jelly, so I'll probably be tripping a lot. I'm telling you this now, so I don't have to stop and tell you in the middle of my set. That if you trip over your jump rope, that's fine. Just take a deep breath and get right back into it. Pick up your count right where you left off. You do not need to go back and restart your count. You don't need to start the whole set over, okay? Just do your best. Your best is always good enough, so let your best be good enough. If one unbroken set of 250 is too many, break it up into sets of 50, whatever works for you. And if 250 total reps is too many, do 150, do 100, do 50, all right? It's your workout, you do whatever works for you. I'm going to attempt to do all 250 revolutions unbroken if I can, that's my goal. So wish me luck. If you need a longer rest break, pause the video, come back when you're ready. Here we go, so 250 revolutions of the jump rope. So that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, that's 100. 20, 30, 40, and 50. So that's 250 revolutions. Now we're back to squats. So another 25 reps of whatever squat variation you're doing. I am pretty sure I'm not going to be able to get through this set of 25 unbroken. So I'm going to take little rest breaks. I'll try to do my first 10 unbroken. Remember, just break it up however you need to. Drop the added weight if you need to. Any squat variation is fine. All right, as soon as you're ready, here we go. So I'm doing a squat with a hammer curl, tricep kickback, 25 reps. That's 15 for me. So I need to do 10 more. Okay, 10 more of these. That's 20. All right, that's 25. So we're done with that exercise. Now we're just going to repeat our jump rope. And then we'll be ready to move on to our next block. So if you're not jumping rope, remember you can be pantomiming jumping rope. You can be doing high knees, you can jog in place, do jumping jacks, mountain climbers, anything like that, or 2 to 3 minutes up and down the stairs or on the exercise bike or the treadmill. Just giving myself a minute or so to rest here because assuming if I can not trip, I would like to be able to get through this set of 250 without stopping. All right, if you need a longer rest break, pause the video, come back when you're ready. Here we go, another 250 revolutions of the rope. 100. So I'm picking up my count at 150, that's where I tripped. So that's 200. 10. 20, 30, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 250. Block. We're basically just going to repeat that 4 more times, but with each weighted exercise, we'll plug in a different exercise, okay? So next is going to be our sit-ups. We're going to do our sit-up with an overhead press, 25 reps on one side, then another set of 250 with the jump rope. Then we'll go back to sit-ups, 25 reps on the other side, another 250 revolutions with the rope, and that's our second block. But first, remember, before each block, I'm doing that little sequence of 5 push-ups, diamond, with fingers together like this, making a diamond in the middle, standard, with hands directly under the shoulder, then hands wide apart, sliding push-up towards one side, sliding push-up towards the other side, and then keeping the hands wide apart for a sumo push-up. I'm talking you through it now because I don't want to have to talk while I'm doing it this time. All right, wish me luck. Again, if you need a longer rest break so that you can towel off, get a sip of water. If you want your heart rate to come down a little more, if you want to wait for your breathing to normalize a little bit, pause the video, come back when you're ready. Okay, seriously, wish me luck. If my arms fail, I'm blaming you. It's because you didn't wish me luck. All right, do you really want the weight of my failed push-up sequence on your shoulders? I think not. All right, here we go. All right, not so bad. Not great, but not so bad. What are you gonna do? All right, it's a tough little sequence. So now we get a little bit of recovery, exercise coming down onto the mat. Remember, this can be any sit-up variation you want, any crunch variation you want, any ab exercise you want, with or without weight. I am going to be doing a sit-up with an overhead press. So I'm starting with my dumbbell up towards one shoulder, knees are bent, feet are flat on the mat. I'm going to sit up, press the weight up overhead, now bring the weight back down to my shoulder as I come back down into my starting position. That's 1 rep. So sit up, press the weight up overhead, bring the weight back down to your shoulder, return to your starting position. That's 2, we're doing 25, so do your best. 20, just 5 more. That's 24, last one. And that's 25. This is an exercise where I think it might be tempting to start with too heavy a weight since we're doing sets of 25. It's one thing if you're doing a set of 8 or 10 or 12, but you may find that the weight you chose initially starts to get too heavy when we're doing sets of 25. So if you need to pause and rest so that you can regain some strength, or if you need to drop to a lighter weight or drop the weight altogether, remember that's fine. All right, 250 revolutions of the jump rope. Any style of jump rope you want to do is fine. Just counting 250 revolutions or 2 to 3 minutes of some other type of moderate paced cardio exercise. Here we go, as soon as you're ready. So now, same pattern. We're going to repeat that same weighted exercise and then repeat another jump rope section before we move on. So make sure you're switching arms. Shouldn't be too hard to do because the arm you were using last time should feel like it's going to fall off. It's always my inclination to start on my stronger side without even thinking about it. So now I'm switching the weight to my weaker side and I'm more fatigued. So I don't think I'm going to be able to do all 25 of these unbroken. Let's see if I can do the first 10 or maybe even 15 unbroken. Just do your best. Take rest breaks as needed. So when you're ready, other side. So knees bent, feet flat on the mat, weight up by the opposite shoulder. Sit up, press the weight up overhead, bring the weight back down to your shoulder, and return to your starting position. 25 reps. Sit up, press up, and back down. That's 2. 15 for me. 10 more. It's 20. My little 10-pound dumbbell is starting to feel like it weighs 50 pounds, but I just have 5 reps left to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, last one. That's 25. I think if we were doing sets of 8 or 10, I might even be able to use 12-pound dumbbells. I think with sets of 25, 8 pounds would even be challenging for me, but these 10-pound dumbbells, like I said, for what we're doing today, this is plenty for me. It's definitely challenging me. All right, so that's our second weighted exercise. We're all done with sit-ups. We have just 2 more exercises left, but before we move on to our next block, we're going to do another set of 250 with the jump rope. So by the end of the workout, we will have completed a total of 20 push-ups. We will have completed a total of 50 reps of each of our 4 weighted exercises, and we will have completed a total of 2,000 revolutions of the jump rope. All right, so whenever you're ready, here we go. 250 revolutions of the rope. Can't even do 2 revolutions of the rope. All right, here we go. Take 2. Point. And we are not quite 30 minutes in, about 26 minutes in almost. So hopefully we'll be able to finish in under an hour. We shall see. So now same pattern, starting with push-ups, and then we'll move on to our next weighted exercise, which is a bent over row plus an upright row, 25 reps, then 250 revolutions of the rope, and then we'll repeat that, and then we'll do our 4th and final block. My arms are still fatigued from those sit-ups, so let's see what happens with my push-ups this go round. All right, if you need a longer rest break, pause the video, come back when you're ready. One diamond push-up. One standard push-up. Hands wide, 2 sliding push-ups. Keep your hands wide for one sumo push-up. All right. Next is some kind of hip hinge exercise. So you can do one leg deadlift maybe, or you can do your deadlifts with both legs. Good mornings. I'm going to be doing a bent over row plus an upright row. So my palms are facing the tops of my thighs, the backs of my hands are facing the wall in front of me. Shoulders are back and down, chest is lifted high, abs are tight. Pushing my booty back as I hinge at the hips, keeping a soft bend to my knees. Letting the weights fall down in front of me. Back is flat, wings in the heels. Now row the weights. So bend your elbows, lift the weights up towards your shoulders. Control the movement all the way down. Press your heels into the ground, hinge at the hips to stand. Upright row. Bending your elbows, rowing the weights up towards your shoulders. That's 1 rep. We're doing 25 reps. So hinge at the hips, bent over row, hinge at the hips to stand, upright row. That's 2. Bend over row, upright row. That's 3. I'm gonna zip it so I can conserve some energy because I have to do that 22 more times. Here we go, pick up my count at 3. 15, 10 more. Three, 24, 25. All right, nice job. That's a compound movement. It's really tough. That's kind of a full body exercise. We're really working glutes, you're working your upper back, you're working your arms, you're working your shoulders, and my core is on fire. So it's a great exercise, and doing sets of 25 is a challenge, but we only have to do one more set. First, a little cardio vignette. I don't know what's wrong with me. All right, 250 revolutions of the jump rope. Here we go. 100. So repeating that little couplet. Couplet meaning the weighted exercise and the jump rope. The jump rope interlude. So another 25 reps of our bent over row, upright row combo. I feel like I want to rest longer, but I also want to get this done. So when you're ready, here we go. If you need a longer rest break, take one. Pause the video. Come back when you're ready. So bent over row, upright row, 25 reps. That's 15 for me. To do 10 more. Don't rest if you don't need to. If you're stronger than I am and you don't need to rest, just keep going. That's 20, 5 more. It's 21, 22, 23, that's 24, just one more. And that's 25. So we're finished with those. We just have one more weighted exercise to go. But first, another 2 or 3 minutes of cardio. When you're ready, 250 revolutions of the jump rope. Hundred, 10, 20, 30, 40. That's 250. So that's our third block. Just one more exercise to go. And the upper body can finally get a chance to rest after this final set of push-ups. My heart rate is not that high. My breathing is not out of control, but I need a minute just to try to psych myself out because I feel like I have no strength left in my upper body. So that's why I'm resting right now. I just don't feel like mentally ready. I don't feel like my arms are ready to do these push-ups, but I can get them done. All right. If you do need to rest longer, you know the drill. Pause the video, come back when you're ready. I'm gonna finish with my final push-up sequence. Don't forget to wish me luck. I need luck on this set more than any of the other previous ones, obviously. All right, so last is glute bridge raises. So again, you can do these with or without weight. You can do them with one dumbbell or two. I'm going to use both of my dumbbells. So same starting position as with our sit-ups, knees bent, feet flat on the mat. If you're not adding weight, you can just have your arms down at your sides. If you are adding weight, your weight's gonna go right on top of your hip flexors. And you have your hands here just lightly steadying the weights so that they don't fall off of you, but you're not using your upper body to assist you in any way. As in, you're not using your upper body to lift any of this weight. You want your glutes and your legs and your core doing all of that work for you, okay? So just fingertips lightly on the dumbbells just to steady them. You're going to press your heels into the mat, lift your hips, squeeze your glutes at the top, and then control the movement as you lower your hips back down. That's 1. So lift the hips, squeeze the glutes, control the movement on the way down. That's 2. We're going to 25. Do your best. That's 25 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's 25. Oh, my little booty cheek is crying. Well, both of them. All right. So that's it. That is our 4th and final weighted exercise. So we're going to pause here, do another couple minutes of cardio, 2 to 3 minutes of cardio, and then we're just going to do another set of 25 glute bridge raises, finish with our final cardio section, and that's it, all right? So we got this, let's keep pushing. 250 revolutions of the jump rope. As soon as you're ready, here we go. That's 100. Almost 200. Those were up like 198. So I'm just gonna do another 60 reps. I'll call that 200. 10. 20. 30. 40. And 250 plus. More like 258, I guess, but it's all right. All right, so home stretch. All we have left to do is one more set of 25 glute bridge raises. And then we'll finish up with our final cardio section and we're done. So if you need to rest, pause the video, come back when you're ready. Here we go, 25 reps of glute bridge raises. It's 15, 10 more. It's 20, 5 more. That's 25. And we are done with the weights. We made it. So now all we have left to do is our final little cardio section. Just 2 or 3 minutes left, whatever kind of cardio exercise you're doing is fine for me. That is another 250 revolutions with the jump rope. So as soon as you're ready, here we go. Final set of 250 revolutions with the jump rope. Plus 20. The reason I tacked on that extra 20 revolutions was because I tripped on rep 20, and that's usually my cutoff point. If I trip after rep 20, I'll typically pick up my count where I left off. But if I don't even complete 20 revolutions of the rope before I trip, I'll usually start the whole set over. Because I would rather string together one clean set if I can. But I first picked up my count at 20 because I figured I still have a lot more left to go. So if I trip again, I'm just gonna do 250 and that's it. But since I managed to get to 250, that means that I had completed 230 reps unbroken. So I figured, let's just do another 20 and it'll be like I started my count over. So that was just one, the first 20 didn't count and that was one unbroken set of 250. You get what I'm talking about. Anyway, no one would have even noticed or cared that I did an extra 20 reps if I didn't give that speech. But if you did notice and you were wondering why, That's why. So that took me 50 minutes and 42 seconds. So not too bad. We are not quite finished yet. No workout of mine is ever complete until we have done our bonus burpee. So we have just one rep left to go, but first, whenever I do a workout that incorporates jump rope, in addition to my bonus burpee, I also like to do a bonus set of 100 with my jump rope. So the bonus burpee is mandatory. Everyone must do a bonus burpee. That's what officially completes the workout, but this bonus set of jump rope is completely optional. So if you would like to join me, again, any style of jump rope you want to do is fine. We're just counting 100 revolutions of the jump rope. If you do not want to do a bonus set of jump rope, that's fine. Just take another minute to breathe, let your heart rate come down a little bit, cheer me on, and hope I can get through this final set of 100 unbroken, and then we will do our bonus burpee together. If you are joining me, here we go. Any style of jump rope you want to do is fine. Counting 100 revolutions of the rope. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that is 100. So that's our little jump rope bonus. And now we have just one rep left to go. Let's go ahead and do our bonus burpee together, and then the workout will be officially complete. So as soon as you're ready, here we go, final rep of the day. All right, with that, the workout is now officially complete, so let's just do a quick cool down together. You just want to keep moving while you allow your heart rate to come down, and while you allow your breathing to normalize, so you can kind of pace back and forth, you can shake out the legs, and focus on slowing down your breathing. So what I mean by that is breathe all the way down to your belly button. Really visualize your diaphragm being pulled down as you inhale. Allow your rib cage to expand, and visualize filling up your entire torso with air as you inhale. And then use your diaphragm to control the air as you exhale. Let's do a quick shoulder stretch. We did work our shoulders quite a bit today. So pulling one arm across your body, using your other hand to pull it in close to your chest. Make sure your straight arm is completely relaxed, and make sure your shoulder is completely relaxed. If your shoulder is tense and hunched up here by your ear, you're not going to be able to stretch it effectively. So make sure your arm is relaxed, make sure your shoulder is relaxed. It should be away from your ears. Well, from this ear. I guess it's away from both ears. And keep moving. So you can be pacing around while you're doing this. You can be shaking out the legs. You can even just shift your weight from foot to foot. This is what I usually do. You just want to keep the circulation going while you allow your heart rate to come down a little bit, and while you allow your breathing to normalize. So remember to make sure you're focusing on slowing down your breathing, breathing all the way down to your belly button. Let's get the other shoulder. So bringing the opposite arm across your body, using your other arm to pull it in close to your chest. Really pull it in there. Feel that nice stretch in the shoulder. Straight arm is completely relaxed. Shoulder is relaxed. You're continuing to move. I'm just shifting my weight from foot to foot. You can shake out the legs, you can pace, and you're continuing to focus on slowing down your breathing. So let's take one more deep breath here. Inhale, breathing all the way down to your belly button. And use your diaphragm to control the air as you exhale. Come out, shake out the arms a little bit. Let's do a quick tricep stretch. So bending one elbow, place your hand on your elbow and gently pull your elbow towards the opposite shoulder. You want to make sure that the fingers on your free hand are pointing straight down at the ground. You want to avoid having this hand hanging out up here by your shoulder or your elbow somewhere. So point those fingers straight down at the ground as you gently pull this elbow towards the opposite shoulder. Feel that nice stretch in your triceps. Make sure you're continuing to move and make sure you're continuing to focus on your breathing. So let's take one more deep breath here. Breathe all the way down to your belly button. Control the air as you exhale and come out. Shake out the arms. Let's get the other side. So bending your other arm, place your hand on your elbow and gently pull your elbow towards the opposite shoulder, making sure that the fingers on your free hand are pointing straight down to the ground. Feel that nice stretch in your triceps. Breathing all the way down to your belly button. And either shifting your weight from foot to foot like I'm doing, or shaking out the legs, or pacing. Just make sure you're continuing to move. One more deep breath here. And come out. Shake out the arms. We're going to finish with a quick quad stretch after the plane. So if you struggle with balance, you can hold onto the wall or your dining room table or a chair or the arm of your couch for support. Something strong, sturdy, and stable to support you. You're going to bend one knee, bring the foot behind you, reach back and grab a hold of the top of your foot with the hand that's on the same side. If you are not holding on to anything for support, you can go ahead and reach back, grab a hold of the top of your foot with both hands, and press your heel into your booty cheek, really press it in there. As you are doing that, make sure you're tilting your pelvis forward. So you're kind of tucking your booty underneath you. Think about trying to touch your spine with your belly button. And as you do that, as you're tilting your pelvis forward, I want you to keep pressing your heel into your booty cheek. As soon as you combine both of those two elements, you're going to instantly feel that stretch intensify as you isolate your quad muscles more effectively, but you should also feel that stretch extend all the way up to your hip flexors. So shake it out. Let's get the other side. Bending the opposite knee, bringing the foot behind you, reach back and grab a hold of the top of your foot with the hand that's on the same side if you're holding on to something for support. If you're not holding on to anything for support, go ahead and reach back with both hands. Grab a hold of the top of your foot with both hands and press your heel into your booty cheek. As you're doing that, keep pressing that heel into your booty cheek. As you're doing that, tilt your pelvis forward, tucking your booty underneath you, sucking that belly button all the way back to your spine so that you feel that stretch intensify in your quad muscles and you feel the stretch extend all the way up to your hip flexors. So make sure you're continuing to tilt the pelvis forward, and as you do that, make sure you're also continuing to press your heel into your booty cheek. One more deep breath here. So breathing all the way down to your belly button. Filling up your entire torso with air and using your diaphragm to control the air as you exhale. And come out. And one last time, just shake out the legs, shake out the wrists, shake out the arms, swing the arms a little bit, and that's it. That's our little cool down. So if you find that you are still breathing heavily, your heart rate is still elevated, just take a few more minutes to pace around. You can do a little more light stretching. That's a wonderful idea. Just to remember that this little bit of light stretching that we do during the cool down does not take the place of a proper stretching routine. It's still really important to make sure that you're taking at least a good 15 or 20 minutes every single day to stretch. It's going to go a long way towards helping to alleviate any muscle soreness that you might be experiencing after the workouts. It's also going to help reduce your risk of injury moving forward. And of course, it's going to improve your flexibility. Just remember that your muscles need to be warm in order for them to be pliable. So right now is going to be the most efficient and the most effective time to get your stretching done because your muscles are nice and warm from the workout. If you do not have time to do your stretching now, that's fine. Just remember that if you put off your stretching until later on in the day, your muscles will have gotten cold again. So you're going to have to take a few minutes to warm them back up before you begin stretching. You never want to jump into your stretching routine with cold muscles. So it doesn't matter what time of the day you do your stretching, just as long as you're getting it done and as long as you are doing so safely. But that's it. That is all I have for you today. So I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did this workout with me today, thank you so much. Please let me know what you thought of it and how you did. Thank you to everyone who has been working out with me lately. And even if you're not doing the workouts with me, thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for liking and sharing the videos. Thank you so much for all of your wonderful and supportive and engaging comments. It truly does mean the world to me. Thank you so much to all of my new subscribers. If you are not subscribed already, please subscribe. And of course, a great big thank you to those of you who have been subscribed to my channel for years. Please know that I appreciate you all so very much. One final reminder that if anything was unclear with the format of today's workout and how everything fits together, if you have any questions about the exercises that we were doing today, if you have any doubts about how to do the exercises correctly, or if you need any further help with equipment-free substitutions or beginner modifications beyond what I have already provided, I am always here to help, so please ask questions if you have them. That is going to do it for today, but before I say goodbye, I just have to say one final thank you to those of you who have been watching the videos all the way until the end and commenting with the secret code phrase of the day. So before I say goodbye, I'll give you today's secret code phrase of the day, but it's really not a secret code phrase of the day. So instead of a secret code phrase of the day today, here's what I would like you to do. If you are still watching this video, hello. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. I would like you to please let me know that someone is still watching by going down to the comment section and leaving me a comment with your New Year's resolution. So did you make a New Year's resolution? Let me know in the comments. And if you did make a New Year's resolution, what was your New Year's resolution? If you have not made a New Year's resolution yet, do you plan on making one? So just leave a comment and let me know if you have made a New Year's resolution or not, if you plan on making one, and what your New Year's resolution is. That is going to do it for today. I will see you all next time. Bye.